Did you know that most people attribute the origins of Memorial Day to black Civil War soldiers, former slaves, honoring those fallen who died in the war to, well, secure their freedoms? And that took place, I think, back in 85, 65. It ended in a 5. And a couple years after that, Memorial Day ended up really kicking off. It became a federal holiday. 65? That sounds about right, yeah. 85 is too late after the Civil War. Um, I have mixed feelings on Memorial Day. I actually have mixed feelings on pretty much every holiday that's meant to celebrate the armed forces because I have conflicting feelings on this. First of all, I reject something that is widely accepted in many progressive and leftist circles, the idea that like all soldiers are bad, like bad people. This is like some Vietnam War stuff, you know? Like every soldier who goes out to war just wanted to go there to kill babies, and they're all baby killers, and they're bad, and they're war criminals, and et cetera, et cetera. It is true that the a disproportionate number of soldiers come from upper middle class, like suburban families, you know? There's a stereotype that all the soldiers, they're all just poor people who desperately need to go to college and that's why they sign up. Actually, a lot of people who go to the military are like these these pent up like my daddy was a soldier and people respected him and it's my job to carry on the family like that kind of thing, you know what I mean? It turns out that yeah, it turns out that honor baiting is actually a really effective way of getting people of socioeconomic privilege to go ahead and risk their lives for, well, nothing, basically. This mantra, like soldiers protect our freedom, how many times has this actually happened? You know? America's been in a lot of wars. I'm sure that if I went back through them, I could think of a couple that were decently justified. We warred with Canada once. We should have conquered all of Canada. Um, that should have happened. I defend the premises of the Revolutionary War. Obviously, with regards to World War II, you know, I don't like Nazis, so I guess we have that. For the most part, though, the idea that soldiers protect our freedom is this is an idea that is held by very naive people. This isn't, it's just not how geopolitics really works. The only people who need militaries to defend themselves are countries that don't have other mechanisms for self defense. Do you think it's America's military that keeps us safe? Do you think it's our armed forces that defends this country? No, it's our economy, it's our money. That's what keeps this country safe. God, no. That's what does it for us. More so than anything else. Oh, the nuclear blanket also does a lot for that. But fundamentally, the best way to keep other countries from attacking you is to make sure that their economies would collapse if anything bad happened to us. That's the same case with China, too. You think China and America are going to go to war? God, no. Even if somehow we could instantly conquer the other country, like China could do it to us or we could do it to them, we would collapse our own economies doing so. Absolutely not. No, 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 no. War is diplomacy by other means, or I guess the other way around, diplomacy is war by other means. But if you do diplomacy well, if you can balance your trade, if you can work that well, you don't need war. So why do we have the largest military on earth by a huge, 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 huge margin? Well, I mean, part of it is because we do the whole world police thing, you know? The military bases we have all around the world help keep people in line, and they reinforce our military hegemony, which makes it easier for us to enforce our business interests. Also, there are companies in America that make an unbelievable amount of money selling us weapons. So, that's nice, I guess. Does it serve to protect us? Well, I mean, we probably couldn't have no military, you know. If we got rid of all of our nukes and all of our military, then eventually the Canadian Mounties, they would start to trickle southward, and we would eventually fall to their, you know, their maple onslaught. So we probably need something. But in terms of like wars of aggression, Afghanistan, Iraq, no, come on. We're not protecting ourselves. You really think like the Taliban or Al Qaeda that they were capable of constructing weapons that could ever hit the domestic United States? Like like under any circumstances. Do you have any idea how hard it is to build an air force or an intercontinental ballistic missile? No. So we're not really talking about a threat of a military attack on United States soil. We talk in abstracts. We defend ourselves against terror, you know, the war on terror. But terrorism, at least not in that case, isn't really conducted flat out by states. Certainly not by Iraq and Afghanistan. It would have been easier to attribute all of that to Saudi Arabia, but we have a good relationship with Saudi Arabia, so we don't want to blame them for that. Lamau ISIS showing up on the shores of Chesapeake Bay was totally realistic. What are you talking about, Vosh? What's the name of that? Red Dawn? What was that awful movie? You know what I mean? The I swear to God, that movie convinced millions of Americans that at any moment they could wake up. Yeah, and just like America is just under attack, you know what I mean? We still do the Red Dawn thing. I swear if you listen to fear-mongering politicians, the way they talk about ISIS or the way they talk about this or that, you like it's like one day you'll wake up and the entire East Coast will already have been taken over, you know? Like what one day, you know, you wake up the caliphate already stretches from Maine to Florida, marching westward, you know? It's like, jeez. God. We do love our fear mongering, don't we? That's how they get a lot of people to enlist too, you know? God, I remember the propaganda right after 9/11. Do you all remember? Some of you have to be old enough. The stuff right after 9/11 was wild. Freedom fries? Freedom fries. Because the French wouldn't join us in our invasion of Iraq? Freedom fries. Seriously. The whole country went insane. And oh man, the discourse, um, you know, that Iraq was like part of this new axis of evil. This was just this. Oh, look, there are a lot of good people in the military who enlist, who are who have been indoctrinated into believing um, a very inaccurate version of America, a very inaccurate version of geopolitics, a very inaccurate version of the world that we live in. And I think you can be a good person and sign up because of that. Like if you're looking to analyze a person's intent, a person's like moral intent, their worth, and you legitimately believe that you're defending freedom enlisting, I mean, I don't think that makes what you're doing good, but can I personally impugn you for that? Should I spit in your face? No, no, I don't think so. But with all that being said, in spite of my general unwillingness to be like super antagonistic towards soldiers, um, I don't like Memorial Day. I don't like Veterans Day either, and I don't like what's it, Armed Forces Day? That's the existing military personnel. I don't like any of these holidays, and the reason why is because they're predominantly celebrated by people who despise soldiers. There is a creature in the United States, okay, and their name is a politician. It's a very insidious type of parasitic creature. And there is nothing on earth more contemptuous of armed forces personnel than a politician. When I think of a soldier, even one I disagree with, even a conservative, whatever, I think of a person. But to a politician, a soldier is a tool that is to be expended in favor of political capital. That essentially every soldier is like a little what would you call it? What's that dish that Gordon Ramsay likes? You have the steak, and then you have the bacon, and then you have the bread around it. Come on, beef Wellington. That's it. Every soldier is like a beef Wellington. Okay, all right. And the bread and bacon, that's the soldier. All right, and the meat inside, that's a lot of money. Oh, mushroom, not bacon. My apologies. That's a lot of money. All right. And what these politicians do, they take a soldier, something they have the power to do. They take a soldier and they just stuff him full of money, hundreds of thousands, millions, and they throw them somewhere else in the world uh, to gain political favor domestically. There has not been a time in recent history, thank you so much, where the future of America has actually relied on our military involvement in a foreign country. But it makes some politicians look very, very good to send people off to die in favor of some abstract, uh, well, the war on terror. Christ, it makes fun of itself. These holidays, holidays like Memorial Day, holidays like Vets Day, all they do, principally, is they throw the curtain over the reality of the situation. They give everyone an opportunity to do a big old show and to speak sweet words to the graves of soldiers and to ignore the broader reasons why they are. You want to celebrate fallen soldiers? All right, make it so they stop falling. If you actually care about veterans, then why do we bother with holidays when we don't even fund the medical associations that are supposed to provide them care after they come back from a war? It's all virtue signaling shit. It's completely disingenuous. And the people who celebrate Memorial Day most fervently are the people with the worst attitudes towards soldiers, okay? Let me tell you who's pro-soldier, okay? Some hippie anti-war type. That's a pro-soldier type. Nothing's more pro-soldier than ending the war, okay? And let me tell you, has the least pro-soldier, the most anti-soldier person in this country is a chest-thumping, war hawk, warmongering Republican who thinks that signing up and going off to die in some desert somewhere else on the other side of the world is a testament to the love that you have for the abstract socio-political concept that is the country you live in. That's anti-soldier, okay? It's anti-soldier to lie about the reasons we invade Iraq. It's anti-soldier to have no bid contracts for military industrial businesses and then to fund wars in large part because you need them to meet the demand for whatever recent inventions these businesses are trying to sell to you. There's nothing more anti-soldier than lying to the American people and defending the premises along which they go off and get killed. And this isn't even, by the way, to speak of all the foreigners who die to our soldiers. But I'm not even talking, how many thousands of Americans died in Iraq? How many hundreds of thousands of Iraqis died in Iraq? We're not even talking about the greater harm here. I'm being sympathetic here to the victors, okay? I'm being sympathetic here to the people who came out on top. Because the hardships of war, I've talked to veterans, okay? I wouldn't wish them on anyone. It seems really, really difficult. And I mean that with as much sincerity as it's possible for me to deliver on this channel. But why do we do it? I mean, I guess I've already said why we do it. It's just, why do we celebrate this? Like, why would we celebrate dead soldiers and then make more of them? Like, I feel like in any other context, this would be considered deranged, right? Like, oh no, so allow me to let's have an intervention in this household where I apologize to you for all the domestic abuse, and then like you continue to like it just reeks of insincerity. Now, I'm not saying you celebrate the dead yet more people die. Curious, like there's no circumstances under which soldiers can die. But the attitude that we have right now towards the deployment of soldiers is just absolutely it's just sociopathic. What's the George Carlin quote? Americans love living babies so they can turn them into dead soldiers. Something like that. Was it politicians, Republicans? I forget the exact phrasing of that quote, but that was the gist of it, I think. That was the ballpark. If you want to be pro-soldier, I mean, if you really want to respect the dead, stop telling lies, stop bullshitting about the circumstances by which they came to be killed. Don't defend the politicians who lied and sent them off, You cannot be a sympathizer with the dead and a worshiper of the people who lied to get them killed. But people don't really care. Because to them, dying in the service of the state, this is like a common fascist thing, dying in the service of the state is an honor in and of itself. It doesn't actually have to serve another purpose. A conservative can believe simultaneously that a soldier died honorably for their country, and also that the premises of the invasion they died in were completely falsified. They can actually believe these two things simultaneously. That actually, the reason soldiers are deployed, the reasons why soldiers die, it's not to serve some broader purpose, it's not to protect anyone, it's part of the theater. It's part of what you do. You die for honor and you die for your country. This is an extremely bad attitude to take towards the dead, in my humble opinion. Okay? It doesn't matter why you died, how you died. You died to fulfill an aesthetic. You died because this country needs blood to keep moving forward. You died because we thought less of your life than we thought of the political capital we generated from your death. Happy Memorial Day. Anyway, all very cringe. Any vets in chat? Come on, I know some of my boys are in here. Hi, got a couple? Here we go. Got a couple in here. I am active duty. Oh, you're not in the firefight right now, are you? You know, you got like your iPad with you. Your stay safe. Um yeah, take cover, dude. Be careful. Lamau. Duck and roll, dude. Yeah, hold up the iPad and put me on speaker so I can yell at ISIS or something. Uh
Boss bad, boss bad, boss bad.
God. Anyway, in all seriousness, love you all very much. Sure, it's been very rough out there. Eventually, one day, all of you are technically going to meet the criteria of Memorial Day because eventually we're all going to die of old age. But until then, I hope you'll join me in agreeing that the best thing we can do for soldiers, living or dead, is to stop propping up and supporting and celebrating the institutions that get them killed for no reason. We all in agreement of that? All right, I'm happy. I'm happy we're in agreement of that at least. Yeah, get me to debate ISIS. That would be incredible content, by the way. Okay, if we could actually get, would that violate TOS? I wonder. Do you think there's Twitch TOS against having people who are part of an active terrorist organization? I feel like I'd probably flag some problems with that one. But man, that would be really good content, you know? Just do YouTube. Well, I mean, we also don't have an ISIS, agent. It could be seen as a violation of the Patriot Act, actually. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. We do the debate. I crush them with facts and logic. You know, I own them epically. And then afterwards, I do the standard love you, buddy. And then I get arrested for treason because I'm providing aid and abetting the enemy. Oh, God. All right. Well, maybe let's not do that, okay? Maybe not.